Sorry, what color did you say? Black?
Black.
Gentlemen, please have the goodness to be quiet for the moment! Couldn't you see I tried to serve my customer? Sorry.
Hey, hello, and welcome to my channel. As you can see from the title, today we're talking about Eyes Wide Shut, and in particular, we're going back to that costume shop where Dr. Bill gets his outfit and mask for the mansion party later that night. Now, although you could say this is a strange scene anyway, I think there is indeed something odd going on here, but it's unseen and it's under the surface. I believe all of the people in the costume shop may be participating in and putting Dr. Bill through what I'm calling a high level humiliation ritual. And at the end of this video, I'd like to know if you agree with me. I suppose first we have to start with Dr. Bill heading out to hear his old friend Nick Nightingale play piano at the Sonata Jazz Cafe. After Nick is done playing, he joins Bill for a drink, and it's here that Nick tells Dr. Bill about a wild party he will play at later that night. Dr. Bill is intrigued when he finds out Nick actually plays blindfolded at this party and that the women there are very beautiful. Nick ends up giving Dr. Bill the address to the mansion, but this party starts late, and Bill will need a costume. Oh, and one more thing, he'll also need the password. Next, we see Dr. Bill show up outside of the only costume shop that you can try to get into this late to get a costume. After offering the owner of Rainbow Fashions $200 to open the shop for him, Dr. Bill eventually gets into the shop, and he and the owner, Milich, go through a back door to enter into a well-lit area where many mannequins are set up wearing historical costumes from different eras. Dr. Bill says he is looking for a black cloak with a hood and a mask. Just then, Milich says he hears a noise and goes to peer through a glass door to see what it is. Things are about to get weird. Milich enters the room, which seems to have half-eaten food containers in it, which is odd since at this hour there shouldn't be anyone there. But I think this whole scene is a setup anyway, and I'll explain why later. For now, Milich finds a half-dressed man hiding behind some clothes that were hanging up. The man seems to be wearing a wig as well as false eyelashes. Was this guy getting into drag or something? Maybe. We aren't sure. Because then Milich's daughter pops up from behind the couch, and there is also another guy there wearing a wig. It seems like a compromising situation for the two guys, but I feel like this whole thing is staged, and I'm not even sure that is Milich's daughter. So, what's the point of staging a strange scene like this? Well, ask, who is it being staged for? This weird scene involving these two guys and Milich's supposed daughter is obviously being staged for Dr. Bill. I mean, this shop was closed, so Dr. Bill is the only customer. It's his set of eyes this is being staged for. And the reason for staging something that could be very compromising for everyone involved, especially Dr. Bill, could involve something I'm calling a high-level humiliation ritual. And what exactly is that? Well, let's explain and see where it might fit into this film. The term high-level humiliation ritual is admittedly one that has gained popularity in the conspiracy theory part of the internet and social media, but it's most often used to describe very prominent people, from the ultra-wealthy to famous celebrities and musicians. In other words, people who are said to be in the club, quote unquote. The club apparently being some sort of entry into the highest echelons of society, or maybe some guarantee of success in your career. But this club has rules and rituals, and it has a price. That price may be that you are sometimes put through one of these, quote, humiliation rituals, though the exact kind could vary. A type of loyalty test, maybe. And this club demands some secrecy, or at least discretion, as well as loyalty, and apparently it also requires members or prospective members to be in its rituals. So, where else might we find these type of high-level rituals? Obviously, at the mansion party of Red Cloak. Although, in my opinion, there are a number of different rituals taking place here, and for a number of different reasons. But one of the things that could definitely be taking place at the mansion cult party is another humiliation ritual, though this one is really done just to let Bill know he's been found out and to make him take his mask off. The humiliation here is played out for the benefit of Red Cloak and his cult, and really, it's a power move, as they also threaten to strip Bill naked and make him swear an oath to them. So, in a way, this humiliation ritual is staged too, but it also takes place within a larger initiation ritual, since I think Bill has unwittingly been initiated into this cult. Now, another interesting scene has Dr. Bill returning the next day to the costume store to return his costume to Millich, but seems he forgot the mask. Just as Dr. Bill is paying, Millich's daughter pops out from the back room, just wearing a short kimono. She comes over and shakes the hand of Dr. Bill. It's already a strange scene, but then the two men from the night before come out of the room too. This could definitely be considered slightly sketchy and a compromising scene. So, if there's a camera in this store, and most stores do have cameras, then there could definitely be a pic of Dr. Bill with this group. It's just a thought, but something like that could be used against Dr. Bill, sort of like having something to hang over his head. But maybe there's another reason. And that other reason is that maybe these two men in the costume shop are actually being put through their own humiliation ritual. Not because there's anything wrong with the way they are dressed in this scene, there isn't, but because they themselves are members of the cult. And just like the Feather Mask woman, who participated in her own ritual that night, these two guys are in a cult that I'm saying has a hierarchy for members. And to move up in that hierarchy, it seems you must participate in the rituals of the cult. Usually, these are theatrical rituals, and sometimes they do involve people who are practically naked. And some of these could also be called high level humiliation rituals, though the meaning here of the word humiliation is cultic for sure. Well, to sum up, before Dr. Bill Harford even gets to the mansion to see the rituals of Red Cloak, he must first go through the costume shop of Mr. Millich, where I am suggesting another ritual plays out, and I'm suggesting it was a high-level humiliation ritual, one that unwittingly pulls Bill into it, sort of mirroring the mansion party, where Red Cloak has basically humiliated Dr. Bill in front of the cult by threatening to strip him naked. But after making Dr. Bill swear an oath to him, I feel like Bill has, again unwittingly, taken part in a ritual and may actually have just gotten initiated into the cult. So there are literally rituals within rituals here. It's like 4D chess, because high level humiliation rituals aren't the only rituals being performed here, but that is the subject of another video. Well, that's my new video about the strange scenes at the costume shop of Eyes Wide Shut. I hope you liked it. I'll be working on something new for next week, and I hope you'll check that one out too. And as always, I've got to thank my great comment section. I really love to read your comments, so thank you for that. Also, it would help my little channel if you did subscribe. But either way, my name is Shim. Thank you for spending time with me, and have a great day.
Yes. I need a tux, a cloak with a hood, and a mask.
A cloak with a hood and a mask.
Yes.